What up, guys? What up? Matt, can you say something? I want to make sure they can hear you. Make sure my
Oh,
mic.
hello.
Boom. There we go. We are good to go. What's up, guys? I'm super excited to be here today. We got a poker coaching hand history review stream. We got my main man, Matt Affleck here. We got Toe in the background helping out on the mod duties. And yeah, man, we've been on the heater. I'm excited to be here today. Matt is a personal coach of mine. He's helped me improve tremendously. Excited about this. Matt, you want to give a little intro to anybody out there who may not
Crazy's
know who you
for
are?
good, crazy's for
Thank you,
good,
Tom.
crazy's for good,
Yeah, so
crazy's
I'm like
for
a
good, crazy's for good,
mid
crazy's
to high.
for good,
Like I play everything
crazy's
from
for
like
good.
50s to like 600s. Some of the 1Ks on all the sites, ACR, all the American sites. Been playing poker professionally for like 13 years, 12 years. A lot of online tournaments are my specialty. Play a lot of cash games still. Recently diving in more into like live PLO and some PLO games and stuff. But like tournaments, especially like online tournaments, are some of my bread and butter. Play like a lot online right now. I'll be playing a lot of live coming up here in a little bit. All the live stuff in Vegas. I live in Vegas, so I'll be playing a lot of the live tournaments in Vegas. So if you see me out there, feel free to say hello. But yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people should know who he is. He's a crusher, and again, guys, he creates a ton of tremendous content for pokercoaching.com. You can hit exclamation point PC in the chat. That'll get you access to some free quizzes, some of the free classes, webinars, whatnot. And then there's also some premium stuff, so check that out. A ton of great coaches.
And I guess I'll add for poker coaching. Yeah, my role in poker coaching. So I do one live seminar a week. It normally goes for about an hour and a half. It's normally around every Wednesday at about 2 p.m. Pacific. So I do that once a week, and then I do a live stream once a month. My live stream will be tonight, actually, at 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're a Poker Coaching Premium member, I will be live streaming tonight. I'm playing the WSOP 1K circuit event. So I'll be playing like pretty much a full session tonight, and I'll be live streaming with commentary and all that.
Yeah, that'll be great, guys. I've checked out a few of those, and they have been tremendous value. You get to see his thought process in games, see how he goes through the decisions, and it's awesome, man. So with that being said, I want to give you guys an opportunity. We're going to give away a couple free premium memberships to the site. So if you want to hit poker coaching in the chat, I'll give you guys an opportunity to get those in there. Then I'll pick somebody, and if your name's drawn, just shoot me your email, and I'll hook you up with the free membership. So poker coaching, not explanation point, just poker coaching in the chat. Get that in there. And now that we have Matt here, it's time to start the pain of having him look at some of my hand history. So what we're going to look at, I felt like, I don't know. I mean, I played a lot on Sunday. I went pretty deep in the 10900K mini main event on Ignition. So, just to have some content, there'll be some good spots here. So I think there'll be a lot of stuff we can all learn from. So Matt, I'm kind of just going to go through it pretty quickly.
I should be looking at the Twitch stream to see it.
I'm trying to figure out,
but I see it on Twitch.
Let me see if I can. What's the easiest way? I didn't even think about that. I wonder if I can share.
I'm not the tech guy, everyone.
I think it's gonna have to watch on Twitch.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch on tip.
Okay, there's like a 2 or 3 second delay. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then let me know if the sizes are good. You can see the chip stacks and all that. Sorry, guys.
Oh boy, I'm gonna test my 300 big blind play.
No, yeah. Well, this is the mini main. We started with. It doesn't matter. I think we started with 20K. This is 20-minute levels, so it's long as hell. First hand, we see a 4X and a flat.
Sure. I mean, 3-bet is reasonable as well, but that you could go either way here. Probably flat. If they're bad players, probably flats here is fine.
Okay.
Reasonable.
This is the first hand probably of the day for me. They check through, and I stab.
I just think we have enough. This is close. I mean, I don't hate it by any means at all, but I don't know if there's a lot of incentive to like bet. Like, what are you going to do if it check calls and then it turns a deuce? in like the small blind checks?
I mean,
Like you bet here, small blind calls, and then the turn's a deuce. What's your plan?
yeah, I think probably if it's just a deuce on this board, I probably may go very small again to try to get showdown because I don't like. I think there's some.
Like your
I think
strategy
there's
for
a,
betting here should be like if you're betting here, it's like your kind of strategy here is just to like bomb away.
so what size? You think this size is okay?
I probably check back here a lot. This size is fine here, multi-way. It's a
Yeah.
lockdown board in terms of like all three players could realistically have 9-8 suited. I mean, for sure the cutoff could.
Even this
on
player
the small
ISOing?
blind,
Yeah, the small blind. Well, it's hard to say. Yeah.
the small blind could squeeze it at a very small frequency potentially, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna have 7s, 5s, and 6s that want to play this way. Like, I don't hate it at all with this. I probably check back just because there's a lot of like. You also like the big thing here with checking here is you don't want like ace king, ace queen, ace jack to fold. Like a lot
Right.
of value from this hand comes from like check, turn ace, and then you get 2 streets of value. That's where like a
Right.
lot of the value comes from this hand. So like you're probably better off betting a hand like 5-4 suited or like 8-6 suited, something like that.
Okay.
That needs more protection from the overcard hands, where this hand actually like doesn't want those hands to fold. If that makes sense.
It does, and it's nice when we check back here and it comes like ace on turn as well, where we start to get a lot of value from like ace kings and ace queens that this player like squeezes, right? And then we get maybe more value in 2 streets from those hands. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a check here is best. I agree, and we get check raised.
Yeah, and like this is part of the issue. Like this hand just has a ton of equity, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's kind of weird. You should never get check raised here.
I know, it's so disgusting. But with the backdoors and getting 4.5 to 1, I didn't feel like I could fold.
I don't hate a fold, but yeah, you're getting such a good price. Like calling's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, I guess I wouldn't hate a fold either, but I mean, this deep, this much utility with the backdoors in position, I don't know if that's a good enough reason, considering I think his range here should be super fucking strong, so.
Yeah, this is a problem with his range being super fucking like he could just have like squeeze 7s or something. You
Yep.
know? Like 7s prior, so like you could be drawing stone dead.
Yep.
Well, no, you can't be stone dead.
I mean, that stone dead with backdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
But,
think.
like, here's the other thing now is like the pot's so big now. Like,
First hand of the tournament, sweet times.
okay, so what happens here on the turn?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, check. I just checked through. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, you could bet fold, but yeah, checking here with a flush draw is fine.
It
If
would
you had like
feel
ace 5 of clubs, I'd rather bet ace 5 of
disgusting.
clubs.
It would feel disgusting to bet and get check raised here, so I just elected to check. And then he checks. I think I have enough showdown, right, to not bluff. Or should I
mean,
fucking just shove this?
You don't
and
really
just
have
shove-
any showdown. Like,
I did just jam. Holy shit! I forgot I did this. Well. Oh. Yeah. This. I forgot about this. This is very first hand of the day for every first hand of the tournament. What do you think about this?
I mean, it all comes down to how much you think he squeezes with like pocket 8s or 8-7 suited or ace 8 suited. Like the more often, like it's all a matter of how much of his range you think. Like you have plenty of value here in terms of like sets, 2 pairs that you can probably jam here if he's capped. In
Right.
terms of
That's
if
what
he
I
just
thought.
squeezes a linear range, then you obviously get a bluff a lot because like so you're betting 2x pot here. You get to have a shit ton of bluffs here. So
And that's how I felt like when I overcall the 4x and then the squeeze. It felt like I'm just gonna have like 7s, 5s, 6s, 8. I'm just gonna have enough where I put his overpair or
The thing is-
something
the
in
thing
a
is
horrible
like,
fucking spot.
this is why like betting small on the turn is reasonable as well.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
gonna want to bet hands like 7s. You can bet hands like 5s, some 2 pairs and stuff.
Good
You can bet
point.
small.
Yeah, and what and you think just maybe quarter pot on turn as well? I don't think I would
Yeah,
need to
you
go
can bet
board.
like something like
30%.
quarter. This hand can check. Like here's the thing, like doesn't matter like this spot really isn't worth studying because
It just
these like 300 big blind pots and stuff they just almost never come up.
Right.
And when they do come up, it's that everyone is playing so far off of like what like a Nash equilibrium strategy would look like that like it all comes down to like how you think players are structuring their ranges and stuff in terms of what's like the proper frequencies. So So it comes down to that. Now, like, so I see someone in the chat saying like that 2x pot looks really bluffy since you bet the turn. Like the point of big bets is
Polarized.
the reason you want to have big bets is that. So like, do you get a bluff more when you bet 2x pot or full pot? Which part? What bet size do you get to have a higher fraction of bluffs in your range?
Probably the bigger because they get to call less.
Yes, exactly. So when you bet full pot, you're laying your opponent 2-1 odds.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right.
So your bluffing rate, you're going to have two valuable combos to one bluffing combo. So you're going to have 66% value and 33% bluffs.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when you bet 2x pot, okay, you're laying your opponent 3-2 odds. So they have to call 2 to win 3. So now they have the ratio has gone down. You get to bluff more in that situation because they're going to call less. So you get more fold equity or bluffs, and you also get more value from your big hands. This is a lot of like what people like do wrong in tournaments is that they just use small sizings in way too like many spots. And like this is a spot like if you think your opponent never has 8x, like never has a set or better, like basically if you think they're capped, like this is a spot where you want to use really big bets. A lot of people will be like, well, I want to bet small because I want to get called. Well, if you have a lot of bluffs, you want to bet really big here because you increase the fold equity with your bluffs and you increase the value that you get with your big hands. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now the question comes here, like, how much showdown value do you have here with ace 5? Do you have enough other like zero equity bluffs here with like 10-9 suited? Do you have enough other with like ace 4 suited? Do you have enough like, you know, what types
questions.
of, how wide are you flatting the check raise with, etc. So.
Well, yeah, I did jam.
I think it's fine. I think it's real. Like I think it's fine and reasonable.
Yee.
Blocking aces is reasonable.
Nope, not pocket aces. Just check, raise, king, queen on this flop. Just
Yep.
filthy as hell. Bullet number 1. Yeah. First hand. That was good times. All right, we'll fly through some of this. Just holding.
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
Just try to get through a lot of these. Not doing anything there. Nope. I don't know why I limped here. I usually ISO, but I think limp's probably fine, in my opinion.
I would almost never ISO here. I'd probably limp.
Okay, cool.
It's like versus an under the gun range. Like the under the gun limping range is still going to be like a reasonably like threes is doing pretty poorly against the range.
How about so do you ever ISO? How about on a button? You ISO this on a button? Where you
Probably
know
still
you're
just limp. Like it's still the same type of situation here, and your
Because
hand
they're
doesn't
range
really
versus
mind.
range.
Your hand doesn't really mind going multi-way as well.
Do you think when we actually do just ISO and get it heads up, we win more often than when we over limp, or do we win more in the long run? Versus like
You can go
an
either
opponent.
way, but it's also like how comfortable are you going to be able like firing multiple streets?
Pretty
like,
fucking
crazy?
comfortable.
Like,
I'm
as a
pretty,
bluff?
yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I'm pretty, yeah, a lot. So, okay. So we can go either way. Good to know.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these 300 big blind spots, like just to be honest, like it's a lot of stuff is just they come up so infrequently
So,
that it's just like
so should we go deeper in the tournament to like get more spots that are going to be better for everybody here to learn from rather than looking at the
it's up to
300?
you. Like
Yeah,
I would think
so.
there'd be a lot like
I mean, I
so
play
me
400
personally,
hands in
I don't
soccer.
play a lot of 300 big blind poker. It's not my like specialty and stuff. And like I'm not gonna be near as confident in my answers with 300 big blind. I'll just be honest with you because I don't study it. Like even with like 100 big blind, like I'm more confident than with 300 because I said, but like once we get to like 40, 60, like that's where I start to get a lot more confident because it's actually where like I actually study a lot. So what?
We'll go
what
deeper.
blind level should we study the most? I would say 40 big blinds.
40.
I think that's the most important blind level to study the most because like
60
20
here.
big blinds, your mistakes aren't as costly because you only have 20 big blinds and making a mistake isn't that like costly. 80 big blinds just doesn't come up enough where it's worth your time. Like those mistakes are costly, but they don't happen enough. And 40 is like kind of the right frequency of you play 40 big blinds a lot and the mistakes are very costly. So I think that's where that's where my baseline for studying is a lot of 40 big blind poker.
giveaway. Gotcha.
Does that
All
make
right.
sense?
Yes. Studying 40, yeah, just getting the most value because when we're 20, it's not going to be as detrimental
Like
when
with
we
40
make
and
mistakes
60,
with
like a lot of
40 and
people
60
make like a lot of mistakes in terms of not getting enough value from their hands, not playing aggressive enough. Like,
Right. Just folding to this 3-bet.
yep, fold.
Bye-bye. A lot of folding.
Fold queen eight off, fold 10 deuce off, fold that.
And 35 bigs. I tend to flat this
Yep.
here.
I'd probably flat this here. Like, it gets costly here if we have to 3-bet fold. If I had like king 9 suited, king 10 suited, I'd probably start considering a 3-bet, or maybe like queen 10 suited.
I like
but
it.
Flatting here is reasonable. Like, there's probably some small fraction of squeezing 3-betting, but it's fine.
I like it. I mean, I personally don't use the king 9s enough versus these EP opens, so I like that we can use that. Just get the hell out of there. What's up, guys? Thank you, guys. What's up, Viv, Crawl, Chili, Winston, Lester, Drugs? Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for the follows as well and the support. I'm going to do that drawing here in 5 minutes for the Poker Coaching Premium subscription. 5x. Move this. What's up, Green Means Go? How you doing, buddy? I probably don't use this in this exact spot, but
No, I think this would be too weak.
yeah.
Especially like if you consider a lot of people aren't opening wide enough. Like, I think the baseline here would be like ace 9 off is probably mixing.
Okay.
Like ace 9 off would be 3-bet a lot. But if you're up against like a tighter range here, like this guy seems reasonable, like raising 17, like, but it's almost like you're playing against a lot of people. Instead of against a hijack, you're kind of up against a low jack range. So when studying pre-flop, I think it's more important to learn like, what do you do against like, so take the cutoff, for example. The cutoff with like 40 big blinds should be opening like 36% if you look at like most charts.
Right.
And most people aren't opening 36%. They're opening more like 30%. And that's a lot closer to a hijack range than it is a cutoff range. But the mistake a lot of people make is still playing like a button versus cutoff range rather than playing it. So like focusing more on like the percentage that they're opening. That's why in my HUD I have positional raise first in stats, which I think are really important. Because you have a lot of people that like, you look at their RFI, like their pre-flop raise, and it looks normal, but they're opening 23% under the gun. So they're opening way too wide in early position, and then they're opening 40% on the button or 38%. So they open way too wide in early position, and they open way too tight in late position.
Yeah, you do see that a
Like
lot.
very, very common that you see. You also see some people that like a lot of people just open way too late, way too much or little in late position and way too much in early position. So having like positional raise first in stats is pretty important in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't utilize that enough. I do think that's good. I mean, I just have a hard time on Iggy kind of using that, but I'm just looking for baseline stats where people are kind of crazy, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
Use the open here, take it down. Open here, take it down. Limp pot with a gut shot. I'm not calling this gutty, even for one. Should I be?
It's just showing up now. No, it's fine. You can fold that because you're cutting.
Dead.
So,
Split
yeah,
it.
you have enough interaction with this board that you have enough stuff to call with.
Yep. Easy call.
Like you have all the Queen X combos and King X combos, which are going to slot in before that 7-4.
Okay.
So
Does it matter to you if I jam here or call versus this 12 at 40?
I mean, it kind of depends a little bit on the big blind, but in reality, it doesn't matter much. But like getting folds from hands like Ace Jack off that might rejam if you call is like reasonable.
Right.
Like, that's like pretty good for you. So like this is if you're gonna have like split it, like this is probably like 8s, 9s, 10s are probably like the hands like Ace Jack off, Ace Queen off, Ace King off, and like the hands that want to flat are gonna be like Ace King suited, Ace Queen suited, Ace Jack suited, Queens, Jacks, Kings, the ones that can actually induce. Like with 10s, the range that you're inducing with, you're not as happy about.
No, you're not, because he might just come over the top with like Ace Jack off, and you're just shit. Like,
It doesn't really matter. Like in general, like you probably can just have a calling range and be fine. Just go call. But I don't think it matters too much.
Okay. Get ace king here versus a 21 big stack. I think I like to see myself use a small 3-bet, maybe 2.5x or so, 2.75.
Yeah, make it like 7 or so here. 7, like just over 7.
Yeah, I just went just over 7. I went 7 too, so that's good. Sizing good. $3.4x. I better call.
Sorry, it's still.
No, yeah, it takes a little time. Give you a second.
Yeah. This defend here seems good.
Please, God, don't fold. Okay, I didn't. He checks to us.
Yeah, flop's coming up. Yeah, so I think this hand can definitely. So we don't have much deuce X. Neither player has much deuce X or 3x cover. This should be like a really high frequency C bet for the small blind.
Right.
You can go either way here, especially with the backdoor. Like your hand handles check raises very well. In theory, like this is going to mix some checks and stuff, but it's going to still mostly bet. Your queen X block here is going to mostly want to bet. So you're going to want to have some checks here, and I'd rather check back. Probably without a backdoor flush draw this SPR.
Shit. So okay, I got that reversed. So I see it the other way.
Like this hand doesn't need quite as much protection as like Queen 5 of clubs, for example. Like Queen 5 of clubs has a little more incentive of betting here.
Right.
Mostly bet small. Check like a small percentage against population. Probably just bet pure is fine. But
damn, I thought like this would be a reasonable candidate to check with the backdoors and the blocker. So I believe I checked here. No, I did bet small. Okay.
Like, I'd rather bet Queen 5 than like Queen 7. I'd probably check back more.
Right.
Too. Like this hand just has a lot of equity. So.
Always a fucking ace. What's up, Riddick? How you guys doing? What's up, Tomas? So we're just gonna be checking back turn. I don't see a reason to bet.
Yeah, I mean, this player's still going to have a lot of, like, pocket pairs. They're still going to have a lot of, like, king highs and stuff like that. That there is, like, they just don't have a lot of queen X. They're going to have ace highs as well, like, ace X as well. Like, you can bet here a small percentage, but I'm mostly going to check.
So your bet would be kind of like...
You're going to definitely have, like, a polarized geometric size in here because you're going to have hands like queen deuce, queen 3, 5, 4.
Oh, shit.
Like ace deuce, ace 3. And then you probably don't have too many. Like you can have a small betting range too with some of these queen X hands that still want to bet for value.
Yeah. See, I mean, I would just see it. I wouldn't have too much of a big bet with this exact hand. Maybe some other hands in my range, but not like.
So
not
yeah, like your queen X
X
block, like there's not like it doesn't need much protection. It's like checking here is fine.
Okay.
There's probably some value betting here. Still with the queen X block, especially the better queen X.
Yep. Bet for value or check?
Hasn't loaded yet.
I'm sorry.
When he checks here, so we like, kind of capped ourselves on the turn.
Right.
We got uncapped here. Like this player should be betting most of their ace X here. I'm probably gonna value bet here and probably bet like 8 or so. And target. There's a lot of like.
Yes.
Jack 10 backdoors. Like this player can have like Jack 10 diamonds, Jack 10 hearts,
King
King 10.
King highs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like once he checks the river, like most of the ace X here is betting.
Agree.
Most of the ace X is going to bet, and most of the players' queen X is either going to c bet flop or check raise flop.
And we can also probably get. See, I wouldn't go big as much. I wouldn't go polar as much. I would probably go small to kind of target any of those hands like 5s. Not 5s, like 6s, 7s, or any of those hands that might take this line of check calling once or something, and we can get like
The
called
thing is, you have a lot of hands that
range.
you have a lot of hands that you want to bluff with here.
Oh hell yeah, right.
And so again, like the larger sizing does benefit you. It becomes a matter of like how this player structures their range and how capped they actually are.
Right.
So how much ace X they check here, and how many like flushes they check here, how much king jack, like basically how much equity you have. The more equity you have here, the more often you have the best hand, the bigger you should bet, and the bigger you can bet.
Yeah, and I feel like when he checks twice and he's so capped, like you said, we probably have enough equity.
Like
to
this
be
player
just
should check
reasonable.
some flushes, should
Yes.
check like yeah. So I'd be comfortable betting here like 7 or 8.
Okay. Probably need to run this. I haven't been calling these as wide with wide with people behind. I think I would call King Jack suited as my bottom, but when these guys are so deep behind,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm not
fine.
sure.
It's close.
It is super close.
Some people are gonna I probably call here. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's a call, but it's not like. I think you have enough equity to call here, and
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think
be
it's
too
close
worried
enough.
about getting rejammed on behind.
No, it's gonna be super honest responses.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a tighter fold. Do anything here to this? This is a little bit outside for me for a flat or anything.
Right. Oh, Jack 8 suited? No, that's not close for me.
Okay. I was about to say it's outside for me. Oh, I'm gonna do this giveaway, guys, while it's fresh on my
I
mind.
meant suited 10s and stuff there, like King 10 suited, stuff like that is where I'm gonna.
Right, that makes sense. All right, we got a ton of eligible users for this giveaway, so I'm gonna roll it, guys. Good luck, everybody. And shit, here we go. Who got it? Oh, Nutzer won the giveaway. Hey, man, make sure to whisper me congratulations on winning that. Oh, he doesn't need it. If you don't need it and you want me to re-roll it, let me know, and I can do that as well. But if you do want it, make sure to whisper me, and I will be sure to get you taken care of, buddy. Congratulations, and yeah, let's get on with the hand history. I should make sure they claim it just in case they're not here. If you could claim it, I'd appreciate it, Nuts. If not, I'll re-roll it. We are going to do another one as well. What's up, GSD? Yeet and Skeet with the follow. Hair too big?
Hasn't loaded yet. I think it's a little big, but it's not gonna make a huge deal.
Yeah, just,
I'm not a huge stickler on preflop sizings because I don't the EV difference between different preflop
Minuscule.
sizings is so small that I don't think it's something that needs to be spent a lot of time on. I'd probably make it 5 here, but it's not a big deal at all.
And I was making it those smaller sizes as well, 5 or something. I just had some coaching with Ryan LaPlante a few days ago, and we were talking about some of these sizes and working on some of that kind of stuff. Versus these kind of players are limping, it's probably fine to go a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's fine. If they're just gonna limp call
right.
everything, then go. You want to go as big as you want and still get called by worse hands. Is basically your objective here.
I don't know. I thought about squeezing. It's kind of awkward versus this stack. I did not know what to do here. What do you like here, man?
Squeeze here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably pure squeeze and fold to both players. So, what do you think your squeezing range looks like here? Is it polarized, linear?
It's probably going to be fairly linear.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're going to want to be polar as well. We're going to be strong linear in a lot of our value hands and in a lot of our strong blocker hands that block.
What do you squeeze? What do you do here with a hand like?
This is $100.
Let's take a hand. Let's say the 30 big blind stack has 60. Let's say you have a hand like Jack 10 suited or Queen Jack suited.
Pure squeeze.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, I should be squeezing this, and I know. I mean,
I think a lot of people I think a lot of people overflat here with those types of hands. But the problem with overflatting with Queen Jack Jack 10 suited here is you're really really dominated by this flatting range, and you get a lot of better hands dominating hands to fold. You still have good playability.
You're in position, you take it down.
Yeah,
with a small
ace jack
bet a
off
lot,
here
they miss
isn't
a
going to
lot.
play very well multi-way.
No, I hate this shit.
And stuff. So
damn it.
squeezing here is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I should be squeezing.
Flatting here is fine too, but I probably lean towards squeeze.
Right, I think sometimes I just in-game talk myself out of these squeezes, figuring how much it's going to affect my utility if these players are sticky, if I feel some kind of way in a moment. But I would say normally I squeeze this more than 50% of the time.
Yep, I agree. That
So
seems good.
it's fine. But in this spot,
Also,
I fucked it
having
up.
a fold to 3-bet stat or having a cold call stat on the flatter, those types of things are all pretty good to have.
But sometime in these Iggy tournaments, kind of deep, I feel I don't know, not taking as higher a variance spot and kind of keeping, but I should just be squeezing a lot. I just know I may go still multi-way here a lot. And then this happens anyway, and I'm out of there.
Again, I want to see what happens. What's the?
Yep. Oh, here we go. We got
Yeah.
Yep. Big blind squeeze jams 25, and the dude that overcalls has 9s.
Okay.
How deep are we? Easy call. Ooh, he's got 20. I fold these. I don't think we're not getting the right price.
Yeah, this is a fold.
Cool.
Fold for sure.
Hey, Nutzer, thank you for
I'd
wearing
flat
that.
on the. I'd flat on the button.
Okay.
I think probably in the cutoff, I still even fold too.
Yep. And small blind, obviously, we're completing.
Yeah, I would call in the small blind.
Right.
Good raise.
I think exploitatively we go small. Theoretically, you probably go a bit bigger on this board with such a strong range advantage. What do you
So-
think about this?
You can like mix sizings here. So the point of going big here is you make 7x fold already. Which with our hand we don't want 7x to fold. So like this hand I would go small with. I would probably split my range and have multiple sizings here.
Same.
But like if I had like say like 7-6 of clubs or something, I'd go big. Blocking queen 7, blocking ace 7, and getting 7x to fold right away on the flop. That's gonna be like a big win, and then your hand becomes like a pretty good hand to like triple off with.
Yep.
Like your weak 7x here. So as a general rule here, with like your third pairs or like with sixes here, I'd go big to get the 7x folds.
Okay.
So you want to think a lot of the big and small sizing when we're playing a two sizing strategy here. There's a lot of just thinking about like your incentives of your hands. So the hands that want to go really big are going to be like ace jack with no heart, ace 10 with no heart. But like ace x with the ace of hearts doesn't need to go as big because it's less. It doesn't need quite as much protection.
Right.
Like king queen can probably still go big because you're getting called by all the like worst queen x's and stuff. So
Yep, and we're charging max to the flush draw, and we start to make even some of his weak ace x potentially indifferent on future streets as well. So
yeah, like the king queen, we're not going to really go like to barreling off with, but yeah. So in a hand like nines, for example, we want to get called by 7x and stuff. So I think we probably going to fold out some queen x here on the flop too. So
okay.
potentially nines want to go big too, like
Nice.
jack 10.
Lonan, thank you for that follow. Yeet and Skeet, bunch of new follows today. Thank you guys for the support. We are looking at a 10900K mini main event that I played on Ignition this Sunday, a couple days ago. What do you think about this? For him having 26, I've already got one in there, just flicking the 2.5.
Yeah, I would.
I actually
like,
need to
not
just
here for
fucking flick
folding.
this in. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I call here. Our hand plays really well. So
What
like
am I doing?
hands, like pairs play just really, really well three ways, just because they're not going to be like when you hit like your set, it's going to be very dominated. Versus like I would fold like ace 9 off there, for example, or ace 8 off. But like the pairs are going to play really well in a three-way pot. Deuces also kind of work well later on for some potential bluffs because you unblock folds. So yeah, I would pure call with deuces there.
Yeah, that was dog shit. I agree. Keep it going. I'm gonna set up. We probably are gonna get out of here about 4:30. I think Matt said he needed to run, so I'll get set up for another giveaway here shortly and get that going. Limp pot. We flop second pair, and he just goes one on this board.
Pure continue.
Ugh.
If the small blind folds, yep. So we have
Even with
continue.
15 big blinds behind.
Yeah, we're just getting a really, really good price here. Like we only need 17% equity.
I mean, yeah, we just have to
middle
call
pair,
fucking
like yeah.
everything.
I mean, we could potentially bluff later on in streets. I mean, I'd rather you check raise to like 3.5 big blinds here than fold.
Even
in
multi-way.
terms of-
Yeah.
Just not even. It's kind of for value. It's not really, but like in terms of like you see some of the middle pair. I would like check raise here to get protection from overcards. If you think this guy is going crazy, but I would always peel also against under the gun. Like your two pair outs are always going to be clean most of the time here. So
Right. All right.
so a lot of people like a kind of something I see from a lot of people is they fold hands here. Like I'm assuming the part of your thought process here is like, well, I'm gonna have to fold the turn a lot, right? But like you call here and then you deal with the turn when you deal with the turn.
Yep.
And so
I probably is playing a lot of hands in game and seeing this guy betting like this motherfucker is a 5-3. What is happening? So yeah, it's a pure continue. We have 17%.
and
There's
I just see
nothing.
people here stab everything once they limp here.
Yeah. King
Which is
X,
why I don't
Queen
mind,
X,
like,
everything. Ace
Got
X.
crazy before folding probably. So
Okay.
like poker, like most of your decisions are gonna be call fold, sometimes raise. but we're always getting like a majority of the time you call because you're always getting really good pot odds. So, what are your thoughts here with ace 10?
I like using it as a 3-bet bluff small. I think we still can leverage his stack. Going like 2.5x. So I use this as a very heavy 3-bet.
You're 3-bet folding?
Yes.
Okay, so I would pure call here. I think this hand is too strong.
Oh, piss!
So the thing is here, when you 3-bet small, they're never folding ace jack. And they're going to fold a lot of worse. Like, I would rather, I would 3-bet fold. The region I would 3-bet fold here would be like ace 7 off, ace 8 off, something like that. But I think with ace 10, it's just your hand, you got high cards. You're going to play well in position. Also, too, like, so the shorter stack you get here. So let me ask you this. This just came up in a coaching session.
Yep.
Let's say 30 big blinds instead of 20.
see.
Because 3-betting what do you think your 3-bet frequency is in theory? Cutoff versus button at 30 big blinds.
Cutoff versus
You're on the button. The cutoff min raises. You're on the button with 30 big blinds. The blinds have both 30 big blinds. Just say all equal players.
It'll probably be the
What do you
highest.
think your frequency is?
30. No. 12 to 15%.
It's 3%.
3? Wait a minute.
Mostly
At
call.
oh, because our hands aren't strong enough. We're not gonna have enough hands.
So
that we
3-bet
wanna,
non all in is like 3, and then you're jamming like 4%. So your
at-
total your total is like 7% total. And the reason is
What?
there's a couple of reasons. One,
Wait a
once you get
minute.
30 big blinds, it's
I'm
very,
looking.
very costly to 3-bet because you're gonna get jammed on a ton.
So
So you
button.
can pull it up.
I definitely have to. So cutoff versus button. Well, I'll be damned. So we're just jamming this shit. We're calling a lot. Look how infrequently we're 3-betting here, guys. So we got ace king. We 3-bet ace queen. We're mixing queens, and these are all partial frequencies. So fuck.
So those
me.
are the for the people watching. The light pink
Sheesh.
is a 3-bet to like 5.5 big blinds, like Toes chose, and then
Fuck me.
the 6 and then the dark is a shove. So your shoving range is pretty intuitive. It's like
Yeah.
middling pairs, ace king, ace queen, and then you offset that with like the suited broadways. Now there's a couple reasons. Why do you think that we want to do a lot of flatting with hands like aces, kings, queens, jacks? I'm not saying this is the best strategy to play in theory. In practice, but it's more important to understand why the range is constructed why it is rather than trying to copy it. So why are like hands like aces, kings, queens flatting here?
It'll help. Well, it helps protect the rest of this range. We're flatting as well when we flatting like the ace 8. So we also have aces in our flatting range, and it also inhibit, like we have players behind that can squeeze, which is a nice function
Great.
as well.
Perfect. So focus on the last part you said.
Squeeze.
So the word protection really isn't a thing.
Okay.
Like,
Well, protecting a flatting range. I was thinking like
yeah. So like a lot of people say like I'm gonna check back top pair here to protect my range, or I'm gonna check back a set here, or I'm gonna flat. You don't do anything for protection. In what
or
the solver's
balance
trying
our
to do.
range. I should say balance.
Not even balance. Balance isn't a thing.
Oh shit. Well,
What
fuck
you're trying
me.
to do. What you're trying to do is maximize your EV in every single situation.
Okay.
So the solver is never going to flat a hand just for the purpose of like, it's doing it because it's
EV.
maximizing the EV. And the reason
Right.
like aces and kings and stuff, those hands are flatting is because you're supposed to get squeezed jammed on a lot by the blinds. Now, if you have really tight passive blinds behind that aren't going to squeeze enough, the value of flatting goes down.
Okay.
And the value of a small 3-bet goes up, which allows you to 3-bet bluff a little more. Now let me follow this up. Now here you see we are flatting aces, kings, queens, and jacks, and you notice we don't bluff a lot, right?
Right.
There's barely any bluffs here. Why don't we get a bluff? What allows you to 3-bet bluff?
Being able. They're gonna 4-bet us a lot, and we won't be able to call. What allows us to 4-bet bluff? So at 30, we're just gonna fuck up our utility. We're gonna be too short.
So it all starts with value. So if you're not 3-betting for value, you don't get a 3-bet as a
Oh,
bluff.
so we're not. So we're just jamming for value.
In theory. So, and if you're flatting here with aces, kings, queens, and jacks, like really your only 3-bet value hands are ace, king suited, ace, queen suited. And like maybe like you can add these up. It's like one fraction of like kings, basically. You're flatting a ton here. And so you don't need a lot of 3-bet bluffs here. So you're doing a lot of flatting. Okay. Now in practice, you can make the adjustment here. Hey, the blinds aren't that aggressive. I'm not going to get that much money in, etc. The other reason why flatting is so go to 40 big blinds
Okay.
instead of 30.
Go to 40 on the button versus cutoff. Right here. Here you go.
So at 40, there's going to be no flatting with these hands.
Holy shit.
couple
Look at
reasons.
this. No flatting, guys.
So the reason there's no flatting at 40 is one, squeeze jams are less incentivized because they have to risk more money.
Yep, they're deeper. They don't have as
And
much of a
also,
range, right?
say at 30 big blinds, the SPR is going to be smaller, so it's less costly if you go to a flop with like aces and kings and queens and ace queen suited. It's less costly to when you don't get squeezed because you can get the money all in post flop anyways. As you get deeper, it becomes more costly because you're not getting enough money into the pot now with your strong hands.
That makes sense. Yep.
So if you go to 20,
Yep,
at
let's go
20, aces and kings, pure flat, no 3-bets. You don't even do any 3-bet small. There might be a fraction, like depending on how the range is built. There might be a little bit of small 3-bet, but it's a jam or flat strategy. Aces and kings are going to be a pure call.
This guy's a beast, guys. Look at this shit. You're welcome.
And the reason is that you're going to induce a lot of squeezes behind. So you're not flatting to protect your flatting range. You're flatting because there's other ways to get the money in, and the way you're getting the money in is because other people can jam still behind you. Like the small blind's probably going to like squeeze jam like 13%. Same with the big blind. You're getting like 25-30% of the time. You're just going to get all the money in.
So
Now,
yeah,
that's if players behind are playing the correct strategies. You might be able to say, hey, these players aren't going to squeeze enough.
15 fucking percent, 16%.
Yeah.
Woo.
So let's go back to 30 now. Like the other thing that goes on here with like the main other reason I want to flat here with ace 10 off is, all right, let me ask you this post flop here.
Oh, God.
Let's say you flat the button here with ace 10 off.
Okay.
So go back to close or minimize this PO so we can see the hand.
Okay.
Let's say it goes heads up, blinds fold. You call the 2 big blinds.
Yep.
What do you think across all boards, what do you think the cutoff c-bet percentage should be here? 20 big blinds cutoff versus button.
Oh, it's going to be very low. I would say at this, I want to say 40%, but it might even be lower than that.
It's lower than that.
It's like 25. Yeah, something like that, because I know
And
at
like,
deeper it's 40.
what do you think their c-bet frequency is on a board like ace, king, queen? And what do you think population c-bets?
Oh, population c-bets all the time, but I think
They probably
it should
c-bet
be
their entire
0.
range.
They should probably be c-betting 0. Like
Yeah, I think
almost
it's,
0.
I would
never.
guess it's a range check.
Yeah.
Because we have aces, we have kings, we have ace queen suited, we have all
Yep.
the jack, we have jack tens. It's a really, really, really good board for us.
Right.
And so in these 20 big blind spots, like I really love to play a flat heavy strategy because players they're going to make more mistakes post flop than they are pre flop. Like it's pretty hard to get them to make a mistake here pre flop because
He's just going to jam what he's
They jam or
with is
fold.
good enough.
they call it like they might overfold, which is like good for you and stuff here, but like use like king 4 suited then to 3-bet here instead of ace 10 off.
So ace 10 off just a flat here, huh?
And if you look at the chart, there's
Fuck
like
me.
10% 3-bet here or whatever, like because it's 3-bet calling off some small percentage here.
Even at
But I would just
20?
pure bet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just looking at something. I just have to see how bad.
Like if you want to
That's
simplify the
20.
strategy, just play a
Yeah,
jam
right.
call strategy with no.
Yep, jam call. Nope,
Yeah,
no
that's
flat.
at 20.
Well,
Like,
piss. I fucked this one up. Okay.
yeah,
that's
yeah. So
interesting.
you can jam here.
I thought I was
with
getting
ace 10
nasty,
off,
dude.
depending. And like they're like calling and jamming are similar EVs, but I would argue that you probably get a better, like the EV of calling probably goes up a lot, in terms of that you probably don't get squeeze jammed on enough,
Uh-huh.
which is going to raise the EV of calling, and 2, the cutoff's probably going to make massive mistakes post flop in terms of how they play their range construction, which is going to increase the EV of calling. So whenever you see like a split strategy there, you want to be thinking about what's more likely how my opponent's going to make mistakes, because we can likely outperform that strategy in other ways. So I would probably just like pure call here.
And a lot of times at these stakes, people are going to play so poorly post flop that we put ourselves in situations in position where we call some of these hands rather than allow them to play perfectly. Is going to have higher EV and
Yep.
so many words. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, I run good. He folds. Go back here. Open. Is this too loose? You yell at me about this kind of shit all the time.
Can't see it.
All right.
With these stacks behind, it's getting, well, so the 122 is playing 22.5. What's the other short stack? The small blind.
Yeah, he's getting nasty. Yeah, he's 10%.
Yeah, I mean, the cutoff is pretty tight. So, like, you're essentially playing, like, you can kind of play a cutoff range. Like, this
Look
is
at how
fine.
tight this guy is, too. Yeah, this is fine.
Well, that guy's pretty like the 23-17 is 3-bet. Like he's playing reasonable. Oh yeah, and the button's really
the
tight.
button's
too.
really
Yeah.
tight. So yeah, I've probably seen that.
So a good stat to have in your head actually here is fold big blind to steal.
Okay, help me set that up on Thursday.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's like a really important stat to have here because a lot of your EV comes from like the big blind overfolding.
Makes sense.
Because when the big blind overfolds, when they all play too tight and you win the pot pre-flop, you're winning 2.5 big blinds. That's 250 big blinds per 100. That's like
Jesus.
massive win rate.
yeah,
If they
that's
just fold, like
huge.
the best strategy you can have is when they just fold.
What is the high? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, you were reading it.
Like if you see anyone folding above like 40-50%, like it should probably be somewhere around like when you include all stack sizes and stuff. I'm guessing somewhere around like 30.
Okay,
Fold to steal.
Fold to
So
steal.
like when you start to see these players that are folding,
40.
45-50%, you just need to punish them.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have that stat. That's a good stat to have. If you see
Yep.
that.
So I think like having positional raise first in stats is really important, and having like every time it folds to me in the button and the cutoff when I'm playing like my A game, I look at like the main things you want to look at is how often the button and the small line are 3-betting, and how often the big blind is fold to steal.
Nice. Okay.
And
Good
that's
info.
like what's gonna adjust your. That's how what's gonna lead you to adjust like your pre-flop opening ranges.
Okay. Let me set up for 1 minute to give away another poker
Go for it.
coaching premium membership. If you guys are enjoying the stream right now, make sure to hit that follow button. We really appreciate the support. Having Matt on, this is a wealth. I mean, this is amazing. A lot of people pay a lot of money for this kind of coaching. So we really appreciate it here. The key word will be Affleck for this giveaway. Make sure to put that
Make
in
it the
chat.
duck, AFLAC, like the insurance company.
You want me to do it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's funny, so let's.
AFLEC. AFLEC. Not AC. EC.
No, AC. It's Affleck.
Oh, AC. Oh, it's Affleck. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. We'll all piss. Cool. It's in there. AFLAC. Get it in chat,
Wow,
guys.
I made this way too confusing. Everyone's this is.
I
this
did.
is
I
good,
was-
though. No, this is good because we're weeding out the hearing comprehension is an important part of being a poker student. So to be on pokercoaching.com, we need some comprehension skills here. So we're making sure the people that don't pay attention are being punished,
I couldn't
and the
even
people
spell
that pay
it, so-
attention are getting a little extra EV here.
Hey, you love to see it. King of Stream and Crawl Dad, my dude. Thank you, buddy. Thank you guys for those follows. And yeah, let's get back into it now that you guys are
I just want to
in
go
there.
back to like the ace
Go
10
ahead.
off spot.
Yeah,
like,
sure, we can go back to it.
Especially
We
at
can look
like 30. It's like one of the spots where 4-bet jamming becomes really profitable because a lot of people 3-bet way too much there. Like I had a coaching session before that talked like the same situation came up, and I asked the same question like what you think your 3-bet percentage should be, and they said like 12 to 15%, which is what you said, and like basically it's like over double what it should be.
It's
So if
fucking
that's the
ridiculous.
case, like you just get the correct counter strategy versus 3-bet there is just 4-bet jam a ton there.
But we have to take into consideration, like, I think most population is, we say 10 to 15%. Like, if we identify a player type that's capable of doing that, how many of your students are capable of actually pulling the trigger and doing it? I think you probably,
I think a lot of people, including myself, 3-bet way too much there.
even general population people, okay.
Like I'm not talking about the general. Like if you see someone with like a 7 or 8% 3-bet, like they know like they're semi-aggressive post flop. It's like
Good to know.
pretty easy to get out of line there, and you just
Yep.
end up 3-bet. Like the problem with 3-betting there is it's very expensive because you get jammed on so much. Jamming becomes
True.
you're giving the person a very good price to 4-bet jam because now
So we
there's
do
like
this.
a
2 to
pretty good
1
incentive.
for him to call and then he jams. Yeah, shit. You know what I mean? I was
Like
definitely thinking that
you're giving them a price here to risk 18 to win 9.5. Like
Okay.
that's a pretty good risk reward ratio, and it doesn't have to work that often. Plus, he has equity, so you can probably like if you start rejamming too many, like 3-betting way too many hands like this, king 10 off, king jack off, like you can probably already start 3-bet jamming like every suited ace, pairs. You can 3-bet jam a lot, 4-bet jam a lot. I mean,
4-bet, yeah. Woo. I learned something today. This is good. I feel good. Woo. worth it. Yeah, that was a good lesson. We all take something away, man. If that's it, that's huge. We got through these hands. I think I'm going the right way. Yep. Open this. Oh boy. I've been experimenting with a lot of little different things here, man. Hearing all kind of shit. I don't know. I think I went small here multi-way, and I don't know how I feel about it. I would check. I had a coaching session and talked about some of this kind of stuff. So this is pure experience.
So like in like theory, this is like a range check, and also here like
I think
this player is really tight. This is a player playing 24-4-3. Like their range, their pre-flop flatting range is even going to be like it's going to be much stronger. Even if it doesn't include aces, kings, and queens, like it should, which it probably doesn't. Right. But like it's not going to have king 6 suited in it. It's not going to have king 7. It's going to be very Broadway heavy and very ace-x heavy. And like so, you basically have 0 fold equity, and you're building a pot out of position where your hands are going to turn into a bluff catcher against this player type. And whenever you like. Your hand is going to like turn into like a bluff catcher a lot. Like you want the pot. So put it this way. When your hand is a bluff catcher, do you want the pot to be small or big?
We want it to be small, right?
Exactly. Because like when your hand is a bluff catcher, once they bet, you've already lost the pot.
Yeah.
Because like the EV of your bluff catcher, if let's just assume in theory, like they're properly constructing a proper value to bluff ratio. Like once they bet your bluff catcher, you've already lost the pot. The EV of your hand is 0, and so you're just bluffing. You're just bluff catching a proper frequency now to prevent them from bluffing any 2 cards now. So like, if the pot's really big, that gets expensive.
Very expensive, right?
Yeah. Versus when the pot's small, it's like a lot cheaper. So like out of position, that's why you see a lot more passive play because you can be put into spots now with bigger pots where you're gonna like be put in some pretty like rough spots here.
Yeah, I mean. I usually just check here. I think I was just experimenting with going small here. I don't love it, but... And then I just went tiny as fuck for no absolute good reason. I can't even, like, probably not a thing. And we both check and we chop, I believe. Just... I don't love... Let's move on. I know, yeah, we need to be just probably giving up turn when he calls. What do you think?
Yeah, I probably just, like...
I'm just checking.
Check, and then, like, I might block bet the river. Like 20%.
I think I was using that concept where I wanted to block bet here. But I mean, we're just giving him a great price with everything. And
like against this player that's playing 24-4, I probably am pretty comfortable just check folding turn here.
Yeah, it's so damn tight when he continued on this flop.
So like the thing is with these types of players is they don't the issue they have is they don't find unnatural bluffs here. And this is a spot here where it's very hard for them to have an unnatural bluff. Right. So go back here. Like the bluffs this player needs to have here is like turning like a pair of 9s. Like the range is very tight. So like they don't have, everything has a pair basically in their range now on the king. So like they need to be turning like a pair of 9s, you know, into a bluff. Sometimes like a hand like Jack 10 into a bluff here. And like this player type is probably not going to do that. So therefore your hand is just worth nothing. And you can just check fold. So it's like a general rule. And I remember this like in terms of like live poker, this works like this rule of thumb works really, really well. And it was actually, I think like, and like when I was playing a ton of live cash after Black Friday and stuff, like Bart Hansen, like one of the like things that I've always taken from him is just, and I'm gonna like quote it wrong, but basically against a lot of like really weak opponents, if your hand is not strong enough to check call, okay, it either becomes a value bet or a check fold. Basically, you either want to like against like a lot of like really, really, really weak players, and like when you're playing like 400s Venetian, like these really weak, like there's some good players that play them, but in a lot of situations, you don't want to be bluff catching much at all, and especially on turns. And you'll notice this a lot in solvers. When you are bluff catching already on the turn with no way to improve, your hand is going to be already indifferent, if not a pure like folding a lot. Now, like here, there's no way like. Ace 6, like you could just already be drawing dead. Ace Jack, Ace 9, Queen 10, like check calling this hand is a disaster.
I didn't. Well, that's why I think in game I decided to
like so like value betting like here like whatever like it's fine, but like probably just check fold. It's fine. To be honest. Does that make sense? Why?
Absolutely. It's not really strong enough to value bet, and we really don't want to check call versus a player like this. So, because he's not going to have enough natural bluffs, and we don't beat his value range.
Exactly.
Yep. Get the hell out of there. Guys, we'll do the drawing in a few minutes. Give it like 5 minutes or so. I'll do that drawing for another PC Premium membership giveaway of subscription. Just double checking. We defend the ace-8. Thought about, how about lead this hand on this board? What do you think?
Do you think there was any decision pre-flop?
I mean, I don't use this as a 3-bet bluff as often as I should. I'll tell you that right now.
I'd probably use this as a 3-bet bluff, like
How often? What percent?
third to a half the time, probably.
A half the fucking time, huh?
Like how I'm getting to that is
Jesus.
I'm looking up the ranges right now, but how I get to that is so like, what's the bottom of like the button cutoff hijack, like the low jack opening range, like what does their opening range look like?
So button up 7, 8, 9 offsuit. So we can make some offsuit like Jack X fold from this spot. So the King Jacks, the Queen Jacks, he may still open. If this player is kind of loose, he may still open. Well, not even, Jack 10 would be an open. Jack 10 offsuit would probably still be an open.
Yeah. So they're opening like the bottom of the
That's
opening
sales.
ranges would be like a lot of offsuit 10s and offsuit jacks.
Offsuit
So like
10s
our
and
3-bet
jacks,
bluffs don't want to block those hands. So like this is a pretty good hand to 3-bet bluff because we don't block the auto folds, which are gonna be like the offsuit 10s and offsuit jacks.
Yep.
Like this hand, like ace 9 off, ace 8 off, stuff, ace 5 off, probably in there.
Pretty cool. I don't use this enough. I like that.
I mean, like this is what 30.
Yeah, well, I can look at it as well for the chat. Let's
Big
look at that
blind
guy.
versus low jack.
Big blind, low jack is plus
Yeah,
one.
like ace 9 off is like the main bluff we use here. So like 50% of the time, and then like ace 8 off is used not as often, but like the concept there, like king 9 off, ace 9 off, king 10 off, queen 10 off, ace 8 off is where a lot of the bluffs come from. So right below the opening range there. So how I deduce there is like the opening range, the bottom of the opening range is like ace 10 off, king 10 off, queen 10 off, jack 10 off, queen jack off, king jack off. So we want to 3-bet hands right below that where we still need to have enough equity. We don't get a 3-bet like king 5 offsuit here because they're going to call sometimes. So like we want to unblock the folds and still have enough equity against the calling range. So that's why you see like ace 9, king 10. Maybe see what range you have here. Like
this is
ace
plus
8,
2
king 9.
open at 30 bigs, and we're in a big blind. So this is our big blind at plus 2. So yeah, we
So
still
again,
have
like
some
ranges
ace
get
9.
built differently. Like here, so like ace 9, ace 8. Like this is in the right region. You don't worry about the frequencies, but like that's why I
This
come to like
region.
yeah.
So like 40-50% of the time, we should be using some of this region because it unblocks his offsuit Jack X 10X opens that we can just get to fold from here.
Yeah, you have a
And
good blocker, and you can flop top pair. And like these hands, like at shallow SPRs, are gonna be ones that can like just get stacks in when they flop top pair. So
Big Donna, what's up? The Queen, King 9, Queen 9 suited. Nice. Thank you guys for that. Chip Scar, thank you for that prime time, buddy. I really appreciate the subscription, buddy. Thank you. Not Patrick, Antonius hooking it up. Cool. Yeah.
and I like it in theory too, especially like a lot of people just overfold the big blind 3-bets because population,
absolutely.
everyone underfolds. Everyone's trained to overfold to big blind 3-bets. So
Yeah,
you're gonna generate probably more folds than you should here.
yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, my range here is probably like some ace 9, ace 10. I rarely ever use these, man. Like just too tight with these, but
Yeah, so
Queen
below
8,
forty,
Jack X.
below 40, most of your range, most of your 3-bet range from the big blind is going to come from offsuit combos. And like,
Below
so for
40
example, if you
offsuit
move this to
combos.
under the gun, if you move it to like an under the gun raise, it's going to shift from ace 9, ace 8 to probably ace 9, ace 10 is where a lot of your 3-bets are going to come from.
so let's
And like
see.
king 9 to king 10, for example, queen 8 to like, it's going to shift up to stronger hands. It's going to use the same
There
region,
is.
but stronger hands.
So this is under the gun 37 in our big blind strategy. So we're still using the ace 9, boys and girls. Shit. Ace 9, ace 8, ace queen. Then we got some of like Matt saying the queen jack, queen 10. Cool. Yeah, that's very informative, very good. Under 40 big blinds, offsuit hands, more
Yeah.
3-betting.
So being suited doesn't help you under 40 when you 3-bet because
Right.
the SPR is going to be so low.
And then we get
That's why
4-bet.
deeper stacks your 3-betting range is mostly suited, and off like shallower stacks your 3-bet range becomes more offsuit oriented.
Sweet. Very good info.
So like this is more like this player looks like they're really tight, so it's not really like a low jack. It's more like an EP range. Like I think 3-betting here would still be reasonable. It's probably a little too weak, and I'd go to like ace 9, ace 10,
Okay.
like versus this like would be a type of hand that I would 3-bet here. And like people are scared to 3-bet, like, but they also got to remember a player that's playing this tight as an opening range is probably pretty scared to call like a 3-bet like too. So you're still going to generate a decent amount of folds.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it feels like population as a whole under 3-bets from the big blind. Since so many people know they need to just defend, they don't really 3-bet with as a bluff too often, which leads the range to be way too strong, which means we'll get a lot of credit in this spot when we do 3-bet.
Yeah.
Stab. Yay, nay?
Like you probably can. In general, like how often you stab here is correlated to how many straights are available. So like 6-5-4 is going to have a lot more stabs than 6-5-3, for example, just because there's a lot more straights available. But it's fine. This type of player, I'd probably just stab. Like you can stab here really, really wide.
Now, somebody was asking, which size do you like 3-betting pre in this spot when we do use these combos kind of at the
They made it
30
2x.
bigs? Yeah, they went
Probably like
just
7.5 or 8.
So 3.5 to 4x, we still want to go a bit bigger because of the positional disadvantage.
Probably like 7.5. Probably.
Okay.
Like the more you think they overfold, the smaller you can go.
Yeah, at a 3x is too small, machinist, by the way. Cool. Also, when you do probe this turn, do you feel like a small bet or a bigger bet is more beneficial, or is better? Theory's not.
So here, having the ace is not very beneficial for like
we're trying
we
to
had
fold
like
out ace
king 8 or
highs.
king 8. Like yeah,
Yeah.
in general here as like a baseline, like we still want to check. We still need to check here like 30-40% of the time. Like we because our range is so wide. Our range hasn't been narrowed by a C bet. We just don't get to bet everything. A lot of people I see here betting like pairs of 3s, pairs
Everything.
of 5s, stuff like that. Like this hand can go either way.
Oh.
But yeah, like stabbing here is fine. Like this hand can go either way because it's a hand that can easily check call too.
Right. I decided to go big for some down.
Yeah, it's fine. Like something like 50% is fine. 60%, yeah, it's fine.
River Showdown, do we want to ever... I mean, I think in these spots on this board, I tend to block.
Yeah. So in theory, like so this is like a really, really important concept here.
Okay.
When so how much equity do you think your hand has? If we flip hands up right now, there's no betting on the river. How much equity do you think your hand has?
I mean,
I don't know
given
the
that these
exact
caps,
answers.
I mean, I would just think it's going to have a reasonable amount of showdown equity given the way he played his hand by just checking flop and then just check calling. So we should win the pot like 40 to 50% of the time. 40% equity.
So I would
don't
say
know.
more than 40 to 50. I would say more like my guess was going to be
60?
somewhere around like 60 to 70 probably.
Yeah.
With an 8. If they have a 9, they're probably going to check
60.
raise here a lot on the. So, right, let's assume you have 70% equity here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's assume it's not a one-liner. It's like somehow like this. I'm trying to say the way for the point I want to get across here. When you have 70% equity here with
Okay.
ace 8, when you check and they bet, what's their value range?
They took this line so they can obviously have a 9x. They said they have 9x. I don't think they have too many overpair. They could have river 2 pair somehow with 9-8. Maybe somehow have 6-7 as well.
So your hand's a bluff catcher.
Yeah, it's a bluff catcher at that point
Okay,
when
perfect.
we check.
Good. That's the answer I wanted you to conclude. When you check here and they bet, your hand's a bluff catcher.
Yeah.
You have so many bluff catchers in your range. You have a pair of 3s, a pair of 5s, a pair of 6s.
Yep.
You have
True.
8 deuce, all these hands. When you have, let's say here, if you did have 65, 70% equity, you want to bet this hand 100% of the time for a small size.
Okay.
And the reason is you have 70% equity, so you can bet and get value from your hand. They're
Right.
still going to call you with like king eight here. You can get called by, you know, pocket fours. You can get called
Ace
by,
five.
you know, ace five, ace three. You're getting called by worse hands.
Yep.
So you're getting value from your hand. When you check and they bet, ace eight turns into a pair of threes here. The exact same value.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because we're just bluff catching versus we don't just beat a lot of hands in his value range, so it's just like
You beat no hands in his
no
value.
not yeah actually no hands in his value range because he's not probably betting king
So
eight.
your
maybe.
hands, like the probably the biggest mistake, and I think I'm gonna do a seminar on it. Like the biggest mistake you see in like mid to low stakes tournaments and even like is that players don't value bet thin enough. They turn too many hands that are value bets in this type of a situation into bluff catchers by checking them.
Mm-hmm.
And you nuke the value of those hands because now when they bet, they're instantly a bluff catcher and you just instantly reduce the value of the hand. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So we'll see if we can find a more clear like example of it. Like this is like very, very common, and it's where a lot of your win rate comes from the big blind, and where a lot of people lose money from the big blind here is they don't value bet thin enough from the big blind.
I decided to go tiny. I think I went 10%.
I think your hand's worth more than 10% here.
Yep.
I just think like you have enough equity here to bet like something like 30%. Like
How does he
3.5,
have
4 big blinds.
jacks? This man has jacks somehow, so
It's probably actually like aces are like a pretty high frequency check here on the flop. Like jacks probably actually check back like a decent amount. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is how this guy is thinking, but like
what the fuck?
like this player should probably like pure check with like a pair of sixes on the flop and stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah, so how about this
That's
one?
fine.
Yeah, at
You
11.
played it fine.
Cool. Guys, we have I'm gonna run the giveaway now. We don't have too much longer with Matt, but we've got so much great value. There's no way in hell we're gonna finish this tournament. So we're gonna go through a few more hands, get as much info as we can, help you guys get better. But I'm gonna go ahead and run this giveaway. Last chance to get in. Affleck, AFLAC in chat if you wanna have a chance to win a premium subscription. And thank you guys for those follows, Kush Queen, and Reaps. Thank you. But I'm gonna run it now so we can get on with the hand history. Crawdad is AFLAC. Yeah, like Bam Bam. There it goes. And there we go. You put it in there. Give those last second. Like the insurance company, free advertising here. There it is. All right, guys, let's go ahead and roll this. Good luck, everyone. Who is it going to be? Ben Poker 97. What up? Make sure to verify in chat that you're here. So we make sure to give it away. So if you can say something in chat, Ben, hell yeah. I'll get that shipped over to you. And if he doesn't say anything, I'll re-roll it for somebody else. What up, my man Ship? Don't die. What up, Skybucks? What's up, family? We got the great one in here. Learning a lot, man. This has been super good. Thank you, Matt, again. Keep going.
If you want, we can keep going through here. If you want, actually, it's probably no. We'll do it on Thursday. I want to filter. We're gonna go. I want to spend some time going more through that point. The
Betting. Yeah, I mean,
big blind probing, basically. So we'll do that on Thursday.
okay. Yeah, we're getting some more coaching this week. I got a ton of coaching set up this week. But we're just folding that.
Probably limp exploiter league. People don't raise enough to 5-3 off.
Yeah, I've been tending to take the very, very bottom there. People aren't going to raise me enough, and I get to get away with limp leading. So, yeah, good point. Just pure complete. Can't fold.
Like this hand could yeah, like
Limp jam?
No.
I was about to say no, never, right?
Against like a lot of players, you could probably raise here, but it's a little too weak. Like lip call standard, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I looked at when I study these spots. It looks like a lot of our suited range at these stack depths tend to.
Let me
just
ask you
call.
this: what's your RFI? How's your RFI range structured here for 30? This is important.
430.
Is it linear, polar?
It's gonna be.
What are you doing with two
Polar.
jacks here?
What am I doing with 2 jacks? I think that hand would be strong enough to. That's a raise. I think that one's a raise.
Pure raising.
Pure raising.
Pure raising queens, kings, aces. So
At
pull
this
up the
stacked
range,
yes.
small blind. There's like, you're
I
not
think
really
the
limp
suited
dropping.
shit. No, we're not at all. So it's gonna be, and then we're gonna have some of the lower.
So like nines, tens, jacks, queens,
30.
kings, aces, ace, king suited, ace, queen suited, ace, jack suited, king, queen suited. Like you're raising like very linearly. You're not raising polar. So you're not raising king 5 off here. You're like
Here it
bluff
is.
raises are gonna be like king 9 off, queen 9 off.
This
So,
is this right? Small blinds. Oh, this is big blind strategy.
You have
So
to
we
go
want
to
to go to
the,
small blind first in red strategy. I was looking at the
I
wrong
can't
one.
see. Pull it to the left really quick because you have to go to the blind versus blind ranges here.
Oh, you want me to go up to the blind versus blind ones? I got it.
Scroll. I can't see the full like.
I'm sorry.
Drag it over to the left so I can see where. No, keep going. Keep going. Keep scrolling. Drag it to the left. There you go. Don't use the. Yeah, blind versus blind. There you go. Yeah, and then go to 30.
Yeah.
Go to the 30 big blind chart.
Small blind RFI for the small blind. And then we'll go small blind strategy, and then we'll pull it back over. Whoa, goddamn.
So this is like a big mistake that a lot of people make here is they trap way too much here.
Oh, so I'm over completing some of these hands, even at 30. Shit.
Pull it over a little more to the right.
There?
No. Pull the screen over a little. It's cut. You can't see the left side of the chart. There you go. So like this range is not polarized. You're not raising queen deuce off, queen jack 4 off, jack 5 off. Like yeah, like 10-5 suited, 10-4 suited. Those hands are in there, but like they're still suited. They have playability post flop. They can get better hands to fold. But like king queen suited, king jack, ace queen, ace jack. These hands are all pure raises. King jack off. Like you at 30, like you don't have a limp non all in 3-bet strategy here at 30, and so like. You don't want to limp jam with aces. You don't want to limp jam with kings. These types of hands. You want to start building a pot right now because it's very costly when they check back. And now the SPR is 10 and you're playing with aces now. Versus when you raise to 3.5 or 3 big blinds here and they call, the SPR is going to be 4. And you can get the money in.
You
You can just go pot, flop, pot, turn if you want, and you're going to get the money in. Versus at a 10 SPR, you have to go pot, flop, pot, turn, pot, river to get the money in.
So we just make the SPR shallower with our value hands so we can get all the money in.
Even at
rather
20,
than-
you don't really trap.
So
So
we-
like at 20, go to 20. Like aces and kings and stuff are still like a pure raise.
where the fuck- I have 25. 25. I don't have 20 straight up in my chart here. Weird. Small blind, RFI, small blind strategy. Then there's our. Look
Like
at
I
that.
got it here at 20, like aces, kings, queens, jacks, king, queen suited, king, jack suited. These are all pure raises. Like you limp trap like ace, king off, ace, queen off. And
Yeah, ace,
like,
king
you
off,
the-
queen off right here.
Yeah, but like you still are raising like the vast majority of your really good hands because it's costly when they check back. And like, what's your counter? Like you're gonna just limp shove? Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
you're not deep enough to like limp shove, basically.
Makes sense. Hold on.
Like people like are just not getting enough money in with their good hands.
Uh-oh, guys. I don't think the other guy said anything in chat. So I don't want a membership to go to waste.
I thought I saw him in chat a little bit ago. I don't know if he said anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to, oh, there he is. I see him. I'm sorry. Ben Poker, you did. I see you, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't see you just now. You're good. You win. Make sure to whisper me, buddy. I didn't
So
want that
like
to go to
your
waste.
raising range here is like the high-low suited stuff
Okay.
and like your
Make sure
strong
to
linear
look.
stuff, and then your like you raise like the high card offsuit stuff. So like king 9 off, queen 8 off, like stuff that can flop top pair. So it's the same thing as like the tips of hands. Like so look on the offsuit side. It's not queen deuce off. It's not jack 4 off. It's none of the like most of that stuff is just pure limp. All the
Yep.
shit.
Don't
You're
sit here.
raising the stronger portions of your offsuit range that can still flop top pair that you don't mind raise folding.
Okay. I like it. I got bad news, man. We're pretty much
We can
out
go
of
for
time.
another like 15 if you want. I don't really care, but
Yeah.
it's up to you. It's up to you. So
Yeah, I got a little bit of time. I'll go like 10,
Okay.
15 longer.
we'll say 15. So we'll go 145.
Sounds good. Yeah, I gotta go to a cousin, little nephew's baseball game.
I thought you said you got to go get. I thought you were gonna say go get swell at the gym. You got to go lift.
I'm going to play. I am going to the gym tonight. That's after. Always. Every day, bro. Fuck it.
to lotion up the biceps and
Stand in front of the mirror at the gym and just
get some curls in.
Yeah, you already know, my dude. Come on. We checked.
So what happened here? I missed what. So you limp called and went what? Check, check.
Yes. Check.
Oh no,
check.
you. Okay, check, turn. Perfect. Okay. What was the river?
The river is the ace of spades.
Okay. So this is like the exact same situation.
Just
we
bet
just
small. Yeah,
so what happens here? What's the value betting range here when you check?
Yeah, I mean, when he checks, he's either going to have some hands he bluffs with, but we're also his value range. If he did decide to pot control with an ace, and he has some better kings. I don't know if he bets
exactly.
2, 9.
Like,
so it just
what
makes
does he do
me-
with like? What does he do with like queens, jacks, tens, 9x, all
Check.
these hands when you check? He checks back.
He checks back, so I don't get any
So
value from those hands.
You're essentially turning king 5 here into like a queen high hand when you check and they bet. So you're nuking these. So like this is like
Yep.
probably the most important like EV lesson for like 90% of poker players. This is like the spot that you see most commonly screwed up. And like I would just I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a pure bet.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's
I'm
nice
like
about
actually like
betting
very
here.
confident because like that 70. Now, if you have an ace here, it's slightly different. You're mostly gonna bet. But the thing is with an ace, it's very elastic. Like it's very like an ace is flexible in terms of you can check raise. Okay? So if
Yeah.
you check, they bet with king jack, you can now check raise for value and get more money in that way.
Makes sense.
And so you would rather just check call with a pair of sixes here or check call with a pair of nines. You deal with the check call with queen jack. You know, you deal with it in other ways.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and we can bet here, and get called by a lot worse because there's draws that miss, and you might just find heroes with like a 9x, the jacks, the 10s, the queens.
This hand
and
might
stuff
even
like
be
this.
strong enough to like you can go bigger than a block.
Fuck my life. All right. Sweet hand.
So in general, when you have like a hand on the river that's not strong enough to check raise,
Okay.
and it's not going to be a bluff it's going to turn into a bluff catcher once they bet, which basically means it's not strong enough to check raise. You want to be mostly betting. That's going to be hands really in that like
Makes a lot of
70 to
sense.
80% equity.
That makes a lot of
brackets.
that makes a lot of sense. All right, we flopped the world, and he lead jams.
Okay, cool.
Yep, never folding. Give me out. Yee, buddy. Well played. Nope.
How deep were you here?
25 bigs. I have 60. He had 25.
Oh, okay.
26.
I was going to say that's fine to open, but if you were like 25 or 30, I'd probably just fold pre.
Okay. You folding, so 4s plus, I'm assuming? Or 5s plus? What are you thinking for that?
I'd probably open 5s and like fold deuces.
Fold deuces through 4s, even in the cutoff
Yeah.
here.
Because the thing is like a lot of the EV, like you're going to get rejammed a lot because you don't have a blocker. You're not going to generate that many folds. Your hand doesn't play very well post. Like the shorter you get, like these hands just as opens become really poor because you're usually get 3. You're way more likely to get 3-bet.
So what if we have a configuration where we're at 30 and then all the players are equal behind where we're not going to get 3-bet as much, although our hand plays poorly? Is that more incentive to raise than in a configuration where we have
If everyone has 30,
couple? Yeah, like it's just 30
I
all
would probably
around.
just fold in the cutoff with deuces.
So what about a configuration where
Unless
we
they're
have
all really, if they're all
more
really
reshove
tight,
stacks?
if they're all really tight, then it's probably fine to open. But
Damn. What about if they had actual reshove stacks like the 15? We have 30 and it's
Then it's
15,
definitely a
15. Oh, so we're just fucking not even opening. Okay.
like 15 effective, you like.
Open jam.
I think you
maybe,
can
but-
jam, but like it's not worth much at all with deuces to open jam. Like let me look here. Like 15. I don't even know. Like I think you can just open jam the cutoff. Yeah, you can just open jam, but it's worth like 0.14.
Yeah.
And open raising is actually losing money.
Well-
Folding is better. Like this isn't like a GTO setting. In a GTO setting, folding is better than open. Folding's better than raising, but open jamming is better than folding. If that makes sense.
A lot of you guys are fucking that up. You know it, not know it. Jeez.
But like if you have
Louise.
players that are going to all play 12-6 behind you, then of course you can open because they're not going to defend enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the ladder at like the smaller stakes and stuff like that. You know, where they're not going to get jammed on or rejammed on, and players are going to just call check fold more than they're going to play back.
Someone asked about limping. Like limping's definitely a thing. Like sub 20 big blinds in late position. I don't incorporate it as much because it's just I haven't studied enough like how to play post flop with it and stuff, and I'm just very comfortable with the raise versus in strategy. But like limping does allow you to play more hands. I don't think deuces would still come in like at 20, like with a limping strategy. Even let me see here.
Okay.
Yeah, even with like if you're playing a mix like limp and raise, like it's still folding deuces and mixing folds with threes. It's just like the hands just don't play well at those stack depths.
Just nothing. Okay.
It's hard to like. You're basically just gonna have to run all these no equity bluffs, which is not very fun. Open.
Yep. I just give up. Had a position of two players.
Good.
When they check through, is there ever a stab? I know the players. I know this player here would be
Yes.
checking some ace X, and then I think this player may bet a lot of his ace X, but I don't know if the jack is just.
This is fine.
Okay, good. Whoa, sweet. I didn't fuck up a hand. Done. All right.
Like the cutoff and the button aren't gonna have too much here, and then now this is a really bad hand to bluff with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give up.
Yeah. Then when they both call, it's just done. Okay.
Yeah, ship. Like limping's definitely a thing there, but not with really that hand class.
But I want to see myself maybe just go 7.
How often do you think you flat here?
25%.
Yeah, something like 30.
25, 30%.
Flatting here is like
I know it's a
definitely
thing.
like.
I know it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually something like I've noticed in studying PLO, and it's very applicable. The same concept comes here. So like in PLO here, like not at 40 big blinds, but like your aces mostly all want to 3-bet, but the aces that flat are all rainbow aces that don't play very well. So, and the part of the reason is that like you don't want to build this massive pot with a hand that doesn't play that well post flop, and also you're going to induce if you get squeezed behind, you have like the perfect hand to back shove all in.
Perfect.
And get a lot of money into the pot that way. So that's the same kind of concept here. Like we never flat ace king suited here, but ace king off actually gets flatted here. Some because like for a few multiple reasons, like flatting becomes like pretty equal in value. One, when we 3-bet here, like ace queen off might even fold, and so we keep in aces that we dominate. 2, we can get squeezed from behind.
There's a 10 here.
3,
Well,
it kind of like we can get a lot of money in on ace high flops against weaker aces. So there's some benefits to flatting here. I still mostly 3-bet here, but I'm just gonna look here for personal, like so 40 big blinds, like cutoff versus EP.
yeah.
Like, ace king off here is flatting almost 50%.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
3-betting, it's flatting 45% here. Like
I-
40 big blinds cutoff versus like, so it's a pretty high frequency flat.
45 fucking percent.
So like these ranges are built slightly, like so
sheesh.
ranges, like the ranges you showed, it was only like 20%. It depends on how you like build 3-bet sizings and squeeze sizings and stuff.
Yeah, it depends on the sizing. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I would like flat ace queen here off, like almost exclusive. Well, yeah, I'm yeah. So
This
yeah, I
is
don't
the
fight
well
this.
range, though, we're looking at.
I know. I'm
That
looking.
looks like- that
I
looks like-
got to move it. Yeah, I didn't even move it from before. So we are. How
Yeah.
deep are we? 1 second. 40 bigs. I just want to show the chat since we're talking in terms here of ranges. We're on the button, and he is what?
We're in the cutoff.
Oh, we're in the cut. No, oh, yeah, we're in the cutoff. Good call.
Even on the button, you still flat here, decent amount.
And the cutoff versus under.
Like the button is still, yeah, it's about the same. The strategy doesn't change.
Under the gun versus the under the gun 37.
Also, too.
Oh,
like,
here. I'm sorry. You can't see it on stream. There we go.
Yeah, so it's flat away. Like, and so, no,
Oh,
ace
yeah.
king suited is a pure 3-bet.
Yeah, pure
Um,
suited.
One of the things they can, so I want you to look here.
God damn.
Actually, do you have, yeah, so go, I want you to look at, pull up the big blind range,
Okay.
under the gun, open, cut off. So the same situation once you flat though. So
At
go to
40
big
bigs.
blind. Yep.
Go to the big line. I'm there.
So then find the under the gun, open, cut off flat, and then the big blind. So I want before you show it, what do you think the worst offsuit ace the big blind should flat with?
Under the gun. I'm sorry, I'm still looking for it. I'm not going to click it. Under
Yeah.
the gun, 37, and then we're in the cutoff. Here we go. Under the
No,
gun.
yeah, the cutoff flats. So no one in the chat. So in the chat, answer like sixes. I want you to answer too. What do you think the worst offsuit ace you flat is from the big blind when it goes open EP cutoff flats? You the big blind 40 effective.
The worst, I think we probably call ace 4 suited plus.
No, offsuits.
Oh, offsuit. Oh, shit. Dude, ace 9 off plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I think ace 9 might even be a fold.
Yeah, I mean, I would be. I would say ace 9 is probably barely in
Okay,
there.
what's the
and then
chat?
ace
Like
10.
I was trying to think if like I see a lot of people overflat like ace X in those regions, and so that's gonna like.
Under the gun. Oh, that's 2. That's not the range you were looking for. You went under the gun, 37, and then cut off, call, and then big blind strategy.
Yes. All right, so it's a lot wider here than I thought. This is 40 big blinds, big blind. Oh, this is under the gun plus 3. So this is a lot later position open.
Here it is. Oh, that's under the gun plus 3. Sorry, guys. This is
So this is multi.
so many
Yeah.
fucking pots. All right.
I'll pull it up on mine. So 40 big blinds.
If you want a screenshot, oh, here it is. Cut off call. And then baby strategy. Here we go. Damn.
Yeah, so I'm showing like ace 8 off.
Plus. Ace 8
Yeah,
off it is. I would be ace 9 off plus. I would probably fold it.
Yeah. This is like kind of what I'm looking at. Like
It is.
around here. Like I think a lot of people flat here with like ace deuce, ace 3, ace 4. I think the ace 6 and ace 7 maybe they find the folds with. But like you are going to keep in some dominated aces as well. And if people play like really poorly post flop, they get pretty sticky. They don't know how to float top pair in spots. Like
Yeah.
you can get a lot of value that way. So basically, people don't flat ace king enough there. I think there's a decent amount of value there in flatting ace king,
I'd probably
especially in
more at, like,
situations
10%.
where like you have really bad players in the big blind and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't
just
think.
something food for thought. I still mostly 3-bet, but flatting is definitely a thing there because that was a whole tangent there.
No, it's good. I mean, I think that's probably eye-opening to a shitload of people that you need to be flatting ace king half the time. I think everybody in this piece is like 85, 90% plus.
I would say like 100%.
Probably 100, dude. I mean, I'm like 90 myself with very few flats. But, yep, you do just take the 3-bet option. Oh, shit, there we go. Open. Woo! When I see these boards, I tend to find a lot more checking and not as much range betting, and then try to construct a range and where I'm mostly just using larger bet sizings and it's more
Yeah.
stronger.
So the like kind of how you want to structure your thought
Continues.
process here is like
Yeah.
so we're in the hijack.
Yep.
We don't really open offsuit 9s other than king 9 and ace 9.
Yep.
Most of our range is offsuit 10s.
Okay.
So that's like a problem on this board. That's not a 10 high board because we have less top pairs.
Good point.
We do have like a significant like 10s plus advantage that the big blind doesn't have. So we have like that kind of nutted region that wants to start to get some money in the pot. But we're like basically because it's a 9 high board, we should identify right away. We want to have a pretty significant checking range here.
Mm-hmm.
Ace 4 spades is probably going to be a pretty high frequency check here, I would imagine.
Okay.
And the reason is because of the backdoor flush draw. And
Right.
it's the type of equity that we really don't want to bet and have to fold. If we had like ace 4 hearts, this is probably like a pure bet. Ace deuce of hearts, ace 3 of hearts are probably all pure bets. But like the spade combinations are probably going to be one of the first hands that we go do for a check.
I hope I did. Good. Check.
Like betting here against population that's going to under check raise and stuff is probably fine.
In that case, versus population that's under check raising, are you going to split your range and just use a small sizing, or do you think we should
So-
just still be theory sound and use a big sizing?
I'm going to change the board here,
Yeah.
but I think this is a cool exercise.
Okay.
Let's take ace 7 deuce rainbow in the same spot. Okay?
Yep.
And let's say your opponent under check raises by a significant amount.
Okay.
What is the proper adjustment with your like what do you think the proper bet size is with like ace jack?
And the under check raises.
We'll say ace queen just to be.
So we don't have to worry about getting check raised. So we probably want to go larger. No, we just use a lot of small bets because but he continues. So we know we go larger.
Yeah.
Right?
So with
We
ace
win a
queen,
larger-
like the proper
larger
bet
bets.
size goes
This
from
is 60%.
like on a7 deuce, like there we're gonna
Not
be like
over.
range betting like a third. But if you node lock for significant under check raising, the ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 regions
60.
just start full potting it.
Pop. I love
And
it.
the reason
I would go
is
60 in
that
spot, yeah.
you want to like a lot of poker strategy is built around getting maximum value from your best hands.
Uh-huh.
And if they're not check raising enough, you're not getting enough money in with those. Like that strategy there, like what do you think the worst hand for value that the big blind's supposed to check raise there on ace-7 deuce? So take this setup here, like big blind versus hijack. 40
Ace
big
7
blinds
deuce,
effective.
the worst hand he's supposed to check raise
Rainbow.
for value. At what stack depth? At this stack 40, so he'd
Yeah.
probably be check raising a lot of. So his ace top pairs with a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush
Ace
draw.
7 deuce, there's no straight draws, flush draws.
Well, ace 3. I mean, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5 suited with the backdoors.
Okay, so I would say like ace 8, ace 9, ace 10.
Should he check raise?
Like ace 9 is like a pure check raise probably.
Yeah, so my question
For
to you real
value.
quick, so I don't get like, do we even check raise those in that kind of configuration? Like, if
I
we
would
have
check raise
ace fours,
ace 7 deuce for sure. So if you have
Yeah,
a person
like
that's range
ace three, ace
betting,
four,
they're
right.
betting their entire range for 25%. And a lot of people just check call
raise.
ace 9. Ace 9 has like 90% equity against their range. You're going to get stacked anyways
Yeah.
by against ace 10, ace jack. You might as well get your value from kings, queens, 7x, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s, king, queen suited, queen, jack suited. I would probably check raise like a lot of your bluffs come from like deuce X there and stuff,
Yeah.
like the deuce 3, deuce 4, deuce 5 that have the backdoor wheel draws and stuff. Like,
okay, so you get nasty, yeah.
the a lot of people simplify a lot of people simplify to like people don't check raise enough. I'm going to bet everything small because they overfold.
Easy, yep, that happens.
And
a
that's
lot.
like a correct on level 1. But correct on level 2 is then you're not getting anywhere near enough money in with your big hands.
True.
And so if you have ace 10 here and you full pot it, are they going to fold ace 6 on ace 7 deuce rainbow?
Are they gonna fold set? They shouldn't.
No, they don't. They don't have
They
enough
don't.
hands.
Yeah, they don't.
But what are they going to do if you bet 30%?
They're just gonna call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're
So,
losing
but you're-
out on like
30.
4 or 5 big blinds of value there.
Yep. They
So,
don't
like,
fold even when you go big. So yeah, we're just
The
missing out, yeah.
adjustment is to then split your range into 2 sizings on a7 deuce then, where you have like this small betting range when you just have shit where you just bet small because they're going to overfold and
Right.
they don't check raise you enough. And then you have this large polarized sizing with your best hands, basically mostly the ace X that they don't have anymore, like they 3-bet. So like ace jack, ace queen, ace king,
Yep.
ace 7, ace deuce. Like you start doing it with these hands because you're not getting enough money with your big hands. And a lot of people think GTO strategy is all about balance and being protected. Those aren't things. GTO strategy is getting the maximum amount of EV in every single decision.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the reason why you run the sim and the solver and it says just bet your range for 33% is because they're supposed to check raise that flop like 20% of the time. And if they're check raising the flop 7%, you're not getting enough value with ace king, ace queen, ace jack.
Yeah, that's a huge takeaway there because I think too many people autopilot c-bet certain sizes because they want to look balanced or they're just going to do it anyway and they miss a ton of value. So myself included in some situations, of course. I mean, none of us are
So it's
perfect,
not
but that's
just
good.
necessarily that like your strategy when people don't check raise and they overfold should just go to a straight small bet strategy. A lot of the times it's just like you should go to a split sizing strategy and you're going to end up with some really big bets, especially
Yep.
when you're really deep stacked. Like if you're on the button there, like 100 big blinds deep, you might run in like you're probably going to like node lock to some like 2x pot bets and stuff. I would guess. I don't know if this is true or not
Yeah.
because they're supposed to check raise pretty aggressively on a7. When you range bet small, you're supposed to get a very aggressive check raising because you're betting 100% of your range. And that's not happening, which a lot of people take to then, well, I'm just going to c-bet even more. So if it says 80% c-bet, but they're not check raising enough, I'm just going to bet range.
100,
That's
yeah.
fine. That can be part of the adjustment. Part of the adjustment also is like your sizings are going to go up with your really strong hands.
Yeah, and that definitely doesn't happen enough. But Guys, I think we have to end it here. That was a hell of a discussion, man, and lot of very good information today. Thank you again, Matt Affleck. Guys, I'm gonna throw out a command to give you guys a chance to follow Matt. Make sure to give him some love on Twitter. Make sure to follow the man. Check out the poker coaching seminars. He's gonna have one this evening. He's gonna be doing a webinar. What are you covering today, Matt? Again?
Tonight's streaming. So tonight
you're just streaming.
streaming,
That's right.
for poker coaching premium members. So the two guys that won subscription, you can get set up in time. 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm streaming tonight. I don't play as many tables when I stream, but at least 4. There's a 1K circuit event on WSOP. I believe it's a 1K tonight. I'm playing that. We'll probably jump in the ACR has their series going on. We'll jump in some of those. Probably just ACR and WSOP mostly tonight. And then, we'll probably be streaming till 10, 11 till we're done with a full session. Tomorrow I have my weekly webinar. Tomorrow we're going over ICM pre-flop adjusted final table ranges.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going over a 20 big blind setup, equal stack, 6-handed at a final table, and how pre-flop should look, because you guys think you think you don't know pre-flop ranges. Tomorrow will be very humbling to a lot of people about how you're supposed to play an ICM adjusted. I basically have solved ranges for 20 big blinds I ran. It took like a 24-hour range. So tomorrow will be really, really, really good, really beneficial, and probably really eye-opening to a lot, because it's something that is very understudied for a majority of regulars. So I think there will be a lot of value over. That will be the next 2 weeks. So my webinars will be these
ICM spots. I need that shit so bad. I made some final table. I've been putting in some gross spots to pass through
because
this.
I know we play together. See, there's not a lot of jamming. I'll preface it with that. Jam the stacks, jam the deck.
Yeah, let me see who's out there. Guys, here, check it out again. Pokercoaching.com. PC in the chat. There it is.
What percentage of online card players do you think use GTO? So here's the thing. Everyone uses GTO. GTO is not what game theory optimal is everyone's trying to maximize the EV of their decision making at every point with the information they have, and that's what GTO is. What a solver spits out when you run a solve, that's a Nash equilibrium range. What the GTO, and sometimes the GTO range is the GTO strategy is the Nash equilibrium strategy. But what the GTO strategy is basically you're trying to maximize your EV. So playing an exploitative style is GTO poker if you're trying to maximize the EV.
Yep.
So it's kind of my rant that everyone uses the word GTO wrong.
Because everybody's just trying to maximize EV with their style, whatever it may be.
Now, if they're actually playing a correct GTO strategy, that's another question, but they're attempting to themselves.
Right. Cool. All right, guys. Matt, thank you again for the session today. I think this was phenomenal. Hope to do this again on stream. I love doing this stuff, guys. It gives me a chance to give back to you guys for supporting me. Hope you guys picked up from it and got better. Thank you again. And I'm going to drop this off. I think only person I really see streaming right now is the Poker Pastor. So we'll drop it off there. Make sure to give him some love. And thank you guys again for this. Matt, I'll see you in a few days, buddy. We got a session trying to get better, so it'll be good there. And have a good day, everybody.
Take it easy, everyone. Say hello if you're in the stream tonight, and talk to you guys later.
Take care. Make sure to check him out, guys. Peace out.